Hi and welcome to another video. In today's video we're going to get into these items that I got here. Unfortunately, the audio did not pick up in the video, so I'm doing the one thing that I did not want to do, which was a voiceover. But anyways, let's begin. The first item that we looked at was the Watercolor Journal. So the Watercolor Journal was 25% cotton, cold press, acid free, and it was a really nice size. The weight of the paper was 140 pounds, which I loved. But what I loved even more was that it had 24 pages, which is like unheard of when you're buying a watercolor, anything, sketch pad or anything like that. So I liked that about it. So this book I will primarily be using for my art supply hauls, and it will just hold all the swatches and like experimentation I'll be doing with the pieces when I receive them, whether it be pen, markers, watercolor, even oil painting. So this book is really good for a person who does sketchbooks, who does hauls like what I'm going to be doing, or anyone who just wants to go outside and do their little art. I love the size. It's a really good size for what I need. There were other sizes as well, but I did this size because I felt like it was enough space to really just explore. So another thing too, the texture of the sketchbook, or I guess watercolor journal, it was really good. It had a lot of texture on it, and I would recommend this. I got this one at Amazon, and all the links for everything I put in this, or I show in this haul, is going to be in the description area below. So this book is 100% cotton watercolor paper. And maybe this is the reason why you don't see sketch pads with so many pages, because this one has 10 sheets of paper, and it's 140 pounds. I will be using this for the swatches that I will be doing in the reviews of whether it be watercolor, acrylic, oil painting. I'll be using this book for that, and I thought it would probably be something that anyone that likes to swatch and just have like a catalog of how their watercolors is applied, for transparency and concentration. This is a really good tool to have in your back pocket. This I forgot to mention, I got from Amazon. Here is a basic palette that I ordered. I thought it was good for traveling, but when I really look back on it, it's kind of long and maybe kind of bulky. But because it's nice and thin, I feel like you can just slide it in if you have like a big sketchbook that you're going with. But otherwise, I thought it would be perfect for watercolor, particularly because it has all these different like wells that you can do mixing in. And the more I dabble in watercolor, I realize how important that part is, because then it allows you to mix different things at the same time and it not like fall into each other. So I thought this was a good buy. So here I'm looking at these Micron pens. I got them at different sizes, and I just wanted to see what the different sizes would give, especially for watercolor, and so I'm here opening it. I did purchase other sizes. I kind of forgot I bought those, but I'm kind of glad I got this set because it had a variety of sizes. So here I am just marking it to see what size the lines would be, because that will be important, especially with watercolor if I'm doing like tracing and stuff. So I'm getting more into that with watercolor. So that size I just did was the largest size. That was the 08, and then I continued to move down from there. So that's what I'm talking about. I did a lot of talking in this, so I'm just trying to give you a sense of what I was saying. So this is me testing the next size down, and I think that was the 05 size. And then I'm about to test the tiniest one, which is I did a sketch with that, using that size, and I thought it was so thin. I was just shocked how thin it was, but as you can see, it's super thin. I'm saying the words wrong. And then I picked the other size up, which I believe it's I can't really see it here as I'm editing. This is editing Nyander. So yeah, so I thought this was a good buy, especially for the watercolor artsy ones who are trying to like get their watercolor up. So that is what I'm swatching, and as you can see, I labeled them for my reference for when I do go back through this sheet and to see like, okay, what did each pen look like once. So next we have the Durwend Ink Paint Pen Set 01. This is a permanent, when dry, doesn't wash out like watercolor. That kind of scared me a little when I was reading it, and I was like, well, wait, I thought watercolor you can manipulate it, and that's not the case for this one. So we're gonna get into the packaging, and the packaging was pretty compact, and that's what I liked about it. And so we are going to see what the inside looks like. So as I open it here, you can see they have like a sheet that shows you the colors and the names of them, primarily for that. And that allow me to kind of get a sense of how organized they are. Okay, so let's see. So I'm gonna just look at the primary colors. So their primary colors were sun yellow, poppy red, and bright blue. But just here looking at the kit, they have this travel size brush, which I think will come in really handy. And it's great that these things come with the palette so that you don't have to think about these things and so forth. Another thing that it comes with is the cotton the sponge on the side. Yeah, so that sponge is really good to like sponge up the watercolor if you're like painting, or it's good to wipe your paintbrush. So we're gonna fast forward really quickly, and we are going to look at what the swatches look like with the primary colors. I was impressed with the vibrancy of the red, especially on the concentrated side. It really gave a full-fledged poppy red. It nicely diluted, and at first I thought there was some granulation, but as it started to dry, it gave like a smooth finish, which for some they may like it, for others they probably would prefer the granulation. So we're gonna look at next the blue. The blue was not as concentrated. Maybe I added too much water, but it was strange because even with the yellow, which I felt like it was the same amount of water in it, it gave more intensity. It gives just as much intensity as the red did. But the blue, I was shocked it didn't give that same level of transparency. But the blue, it was really good with translucency, giving that nice light blue. But I was not impressed with the concentration of it and stuff. So we're gonna go to the yellow. And as I said before, the yellow I was quite impressed with. So we are going to go, and the yellow is the sun yellow. So you see how bright that is. That is really nice and intense, and it gets quite diluted really nicely. Just adding some water to it, it just really got really translucent nicely. So I really liked that. I also wanted to show how the product looked on canvas. Though many people don't use canvas as a surface for watercolor, it can be used. And in the mixed media community, they do use it and experiment a lot with like watercolor, acrylic on canvas. Well, acrylic you can do with canvas, but watercolor typically people don't. So but in the mixed media world, they definitely do play with that. And so I wanted to show how when applied to canvas what happened. And I really liked it. It was as vibrant. I feel like it was even more vibrant, the blue on the canvas than on the cotton paper. So it takes a bit of work to get the pigments in the canvas, but it is doable. So that's what I'm doing here. Next, we're looking at the Gansai Tambi. Let me know in the comment section if I said it correctly. This is a Japanese traditional paint for professional artists and crafters. It can be used as a gouache and watered down for use as a watercolor. I thought this was really nice. The packaging was really nice. It looks like it has a lot of product. I picked these colors because I thought they were just unique to come together. They're not the typical colors that you get in a set. It probably was a special edition, who knows, because it says here 12 color set 2, so they probably have a 12 color set 1. And I thought these were really nice colors. So let's get into swatching them. So this set was really nice. It has a thick consistency. It applied really concentrated on the paper. I did think this blue was way more vibrant than the Durwend blue, at least when it came to application. Definitely had the consistency of gouache, and I really liked it. I really liked that creamy feeling. It was just something really tintillating about just, it was almost like I felt the paint, just the creaminess. It was just making like a squishy noise. I thought that was kind of fun, just playing around with swatching these. And I was just comparing how it was like drying and like the granulation as it dried. So we're going to go into the other color that I swatched. Actually, that color that I swatched was the cobalt blue. The next color that I swatched was the cherry blossom pink, which was the sweetest color. It looked exactly as it did in the container that it was held in. It was just no comparison. Like it looked exactly the same, and I thought that was really brilliant how they were able to capture the exact color. And yeah, next was the yellow, which is called what is it called? Oh, the greenish yellow. Or was it yes, that was the one that I swatched, the greenish yellow. Let me just confirm that. Okay. And then of course I tested them all on the canvas. And of course, as I said, it takes some time to really move it in. But what I found is that with the gouache, it was easier to spread on the canvas. And as you can see, just adding some water and it would just spread out and stuff like that. So I really liked seeing how that was applied to the canvas. I think you see how the yellow, the greenish yellow, looked a bit more. You can see the grenishness more now. So it doesn't really, actually, it still looks yellow to me in the video, but in person it looks more greenish. That is really odd. You know what? It could be the filter that I'm using for this video. It could be that too. So I'm not sure what that was. But yeah, it's as I probably was talking about how vibrant the colors were. Even the blue, it looked pretty vibrant. This had to have been the more fun part of the haul, testing out the Dr. PH Martin's Fine Art Watercolor, liquid watercolor. I really enjoyed this part. Just seeing how the product spread, especially on a wet surface, it really does do some beautiful things. So I'm gonna fast forward this part up, especially the part where it's like it's just doing some miraculous things. I don't know why I did that, but it was just cool seeing the pink with the blue. But I really enjoy playing around with this, and I do look forward to playing around with these colors. That color was the cobalt blue. You get the full intensity of that color for sure with the liquid. You see when I wet the surface. So what I'll do from here, I'll fast forward it so you can really see the magic. I didn't think I spoke that much at this part of the video, so just enjoy. So this here is a drawing slash watercolor painting that I did using a basic watercolor paint. And what I hope to do in the future is when I have reviews of watercolor palettes, I'm going to use this drawing to compare them with this one. So I'll be doing maybe two watercolor reviews in the future. We're definitely going to do a drawing and painting with Durwend and of course with the Micron pens and pencils. We're going to do that in the future. And I don't think I will do painting with the Japanese one, Gamzi Tambi, but we'll see. I'll come up with something creative and we can compare it to this painting here. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comment section if you have some suggestions that you would recommend me trying in the watercolor family, because there's so much in watercolor that I want to explore and I want to explore with you. So let me know in the comment section and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.